The weekend, two seemingly harmless words, yet for older adults, they can silently introduce some truly concerning health risks. Dr. Timothy L., a cardiologist in California, has witnessed far too many cases of stroke and acute heart failure just hours after a family gathering, a celebratory meal, or a seemingly ordinary activity. What troubles him most is this: the majority of those situations were preventable if only we adjusted a few seemingly harmless weekend habits. When you enter your 70s, your heart simply doesn't function like it did 30 years ago. Just one saltier than usual meal, a single beer for fun, or sleeping in until noon can disrupt your circulatory system, increase the heart's workload, and trigger a dangerous chain reaction. The irony is that these behaviors often happen on weekends, when family gathers, when medication schedules get disrupted, when the urge to pitch in and help arises. It is in those peaceful moments that the heart is most at risk of being harmed. Have you ever wondered, why is a loved one who was healthy yesterday suddenly hospitalized for acute heart failure today? Why do family gatherings become a silent reason, pushing an elder's health to a dangerous edge? Have you also experienced sleepless nights after a party, or felt exhausted after trying to climb the stairs to clean out that old attic? If you are between 65 and 80, or have an elderly relative living with you, then this video is a special message for you. Together, we will uncover 5 familiar weekend habits that, according to warnings from cardiologists, are quietly weakening the hearts of older adults. The good news is, with just a few small adjustments, you can keep your heart healthy and live a fuller life with your family. And now, let us begin. Habit 1, eating too many salty and fatty foods at family parties. A platter of savory grilled ribs, a rich and fragrant bone broth, a few crispy fried sausages, familiar dishes at weekend family get-togethers. For older adults, it is not just a meal, but a rare chance to be together, to feel familial love through each delicious dish their children cook. But behind the laughter lies a silent truth few notice. These salty, fatty, and oily foods are making an older heart work twice as hard. When you are young, your body can handle many nutritional mistakes without obvious symptoms. But after 70, the cardiovascular system becomes more sensitive to every bit of salt and saturated fat. Eating one salty meal means the body must retain more water to balance pressure, forcing the heart to pump harder, which raises blood pressure. Saturated fat from fried chicken skin, rich stews, or thick gravies can cause atherosclerosis, narrowing blood pathways and making it harder for the heart to work efficiently. Margaret, a 72-year-old from San Diego, was rushed to the emergency room on a Sunday night after her grandson's birthday party. Doctors determined she had acute heart failure from a sudden blood pressure spike combined with fluid in her lungs, all stemming from that day's high-sodium, high-fat meal. "I just wanted to have a little fun with my family," she said, "but I never thought it would turn out like this." No one is saying you must refuse every delicious dish, but there is a huge difference between enjoying in moderation and eating until you are stuffed, between seasoning lightly and adding extra spoonfuls of fish sauce for flavor. Remember, your sense of taste may have diminished with age, but the consequences remain fully intact. Make steamed dishes, boiled foods, light soups, and fresh vegetables the centerpiece of the table. When your heart's burden is lightened, the joy of gathering will be even more complete. You can start at your very next get-together, suggest a heart-healthy meal, or simply eat some rice and vegetables first before touching the main dishes. Sometimes, a small change in how you eat is a big step in protecting your heart's health. Habit 2, drinking alcohol or beer, even just a little for fun. Just one glass of red wine for fun. That seemingly harmless phrase is slowly becoming a reason many older adults face shortness of breath, a racing heart, and even the risk of hospitalization after a supposedly peaceful weekend. Drinking a little alcohol or beer for fun during family gatherings is very common. But for a heart that has passed the 70-year mark, even a little can be far too much. Did you know that after age 65, the liver's ability to metabolize alcohol significantly decreases? That means the small amount of alcohol you once processed easily now stays in your bloodstream longer, directly impacting the cardiovascular system. Alcohol causes blood vessels to dilate, forcing the heart to beat faster to maintain blood pressure. For someone with a weak heart, it's like forcing your heart to sprint when it isn't ready. That fleeting buzz can lead to an irregular heartbeat, fluctuating blood pressure, or even a transient heart failure episode or dangerous atrial fibrillation. Richard, 76 from Florida, once fainted right at the dinner table after drinking half a cocktail at a Christmas party. His family thought he was just tired from old age. But at the hospital, doctors identified it as an acute arrhythmia caused by a reaction to alcohol, something he thought was harmless. "I wasn't drunk," he said. "I was just raising a glass to celebrate with my grandchild." It is hard to refuse a toast from your children and grandchildren, especially when you do not want to spoil the cheerful atmosphere. But there is a gentler way to protect your heart. Choose alternatives like fruit juice, herbal tea, or simply raise a glass of water with a sincere toast to good health. You do not need alcohol to connect. Sometimes your clear-headedness and good health are the most meaningful gifts for your family. And if you still find it hard to refuse, talk to your family beforehand that your heart health needs to be a priority. A gentle word, a sincere gesture, can sometimes change how everyone plans these get-togethers. Remember, lasting joy comes not from a glass of wine, but from a heart that keeps beating steadily in the arms of those you love. Habit 3. Skipping or mistiming medication due to schedule changes. Have you ever forgotten to take your medicine on the weekend simply because your family was visiting and your routine was disrupted? Or you remembered too late and told yourself, being a little late probably won't hurt? For an older adult managing heart disease, skipping or mistiming medication is not a small thing. It could be the final piece that causes your already weakened heart to lose control. An older person's heart, especially with a history of heart failure, high blood pressure, or arrhythmia, relies heavily on medications for stability, like diuretics or drugs for heart rate, blood pressure, or blood thinning. These medications not only need to be taken regularly, but also at the right time of day to maintain a steady level in the blood. When you skip a dose or are consistently late, your cardiovascular system loses its essential support, leading to a chaotic heartbeat, low blood pressure, or worse, a relapse of acute heart failure. Dr. Nadia in Texas once shared the story of Joseph, 81, who was hospitalized with severe shortness of breath after a weekend visiting his grandchildren in Houston. It turned out, in his excitement, he forgot to pack his diuretic, the pill that controlled his body's fluid levels. Within 3 days of not taking it, fluid began to build up in his lungs. His heart could not pump enough blood, leading to pulmonary edema and acute heart failure. "It was just a few pills," he said while on oxygen, "but now I see how serious the consequences are." The solution is not as hard as you might think. Prepare a small pill organizer for trips or gatherings. Write down medication times clearly, set a reminder alarm, or ask a family member to check in with you each weekend day. Most importantly, treat taking your medicine on time as seriously as eating or sleeping. It is the foundation that keeps your heart's rhythm uninterrupted. Be proactive and tell your family you need a few quiet minutes each day for your medication. Your loved ones will understand and support you if you explain why. Because your heart, each steady beat, not only keeps you alive, but it also keeps your entire home standing strong. If you are still watching and find this information helpful, please comment with the number 3 below to let me know. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I encourage you to hit subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss new videos. Your support helps us continue creating more helpful and inspiring content. Habit 4. Oversleeping and disrupting your biological clock. "It's the weekend, I'll just sleep in a little." That thought sounds perfectly reasonable, especially after a tiring week. But if you are an older adult, sleeping in too much on Saturday and Sunday not only leaves you feeling groggier, but it can also disrupt your biological clock, directly affecting your heart. Our bodies operate on a biological clock. It dictates when we wake, sleep, eat, produce hormones, and even how our heart beats. When you maintain a consistent sleep and wake schedule, your heart rate and blood pressure also follow a stable cycle. But if you stay up later on weekends and then sleep until noon, that clock gets thrown off. The result is an irregular heartbeat and fluctuating blood pressure, which can cause fatigue, dizziness, or even atrial fibrillation, a very dangerous condition for someone with underlying heart disease. Ellen, 75 from Sacramento, used to sleep in every Sunday after a week of watching her grandchildren. She thought it was the best way to recharge. But after a few months, she began to frequently feel her heart racing and palpitations upon waking, and at times felt so dizzy she nearly fell. After an EKG, her doctor confirmed a mild arrhythmia linked to her irregular sleep schedule. "I thought I was resting to get stronger," she shared, "but I never realized I was disrupting my body from the inside." For older adults, what's precious is not sleeping more, but sleeping consistently. Quality sleep does not come from long hours, but from maintaining a fixed bedtime and wake-up time every day. Try to keep your weekend sleep schedule similar to your weekdays. If you need extra rest, take a short afternoon nap instead of sleeping until the next afternoon. If you often feel groggy despite getting 8 hours of sleep on weekends, disrupting your sleep rhythm could be the cause. Try adjusting your schedule. Go to bed earlier instead of waking up later. Just one small change, like waking up at the same time every morning, can help your heart maintain a stable rhythm, improve your mental clarity, and significantly boost your health over time. Because sleep is not just for rest, it is how your heart recovers. And that only happens when it is not jolted off rhythm by those sleep all you want weekend mornings. Habit 5, sudden strenuous activity like gardening or climbing stairs. The weekend arrives, sunny and clear. You look around your yard and think, "I should do some work today to stay active." Maybe it's pulling weeds, trimming bushes, raking the yard, or simply climbing a few steps to clean a window frame. These tasks seem light, but for a body past 70 with a heart that has weakened over the years, they can be a sudden shock. Many older adults believe that activity is good, and it is when you exercise regularly and appropriately for your current strength and ability. But the danger lies in sudden, strenuous exertion, especially after several days of being less active. When you bend over repeatedly, lift heavy objects, or climb an incline without warming up, your heart has to rapidly increase its rate to pump blood to your working muscles. For a heart with existing plaque buildup or a weak valve, that abrupt change can lead to chest pain, a drop in blood pressure, or even a stroke from a transient ischemic attack. Carlos, 78 from New Jersey, was once very proud that he was still stronger than the grandkids when he single-handedly raked all the fallen leaves in his garden one Sunday afternoon. But that evening he felt short of breath and chest tightness and was rushed to the ER with a diagnosis of stage 2 acute heart failure. "I just wanted to give my wife a hand," he said, "but I never thought my heart couldn't handle just a few shovelfuls of leaves." You might think it's just a few chores, but that is not true if your body is not what it used to be. Reduced stamina, a weaker heart muscle, slower reflexes, all make strenuous activity many times more dangerous. The solution is not to stop doing things, but to change how you do them. Break tasks down, take frequent breaks, avoid working in the midday sun, and never work right after a full meal or when you are tired. If you want to be active, start with simple movements. Walk around the yard, stretch your body, and warm up for a few minutes before you begin. And if you feel out of breath, a racing heart, or chest pain, that is not a sign you are burning fat, but a warning that you should stop. Because heart health after 70 does not come from one day of hard work, but from the days you know when to stop. Consistent, non-strenuous activity is how you can continue doing what you love without trading it for an unscheduled hospital visit. We have just gone through 5 familiar weekend habits, things that seem minor, but can deeply affect heart health in our later years. From the salty, rich foods at family feasts to the just-for-fun glass of wine, from forgotten pills due to a changed routine to sleeping in too long or sudden strenuous exertion. Each habit is a link in a chain of silent pressure that an older heart endures every weekend. The important thing is this: no one wants to refuse joy or live in constant fear. The good news is you do not have to give up those precious moments with family. You just need to change how you approach them. Eat moderately, drink mindfully, remember your medication, keep a steady routine, and listen to your body before you act. These are not impossible tasks. They are small choices that can make a big difference for a healthy and peaceful old age. And now try taking a minute to ask yourself, did you eat a bit too much salt last weekend? Did you forget your afternoon medication? Did you sleep past noon or do something that made your heart beat unusually fast? If so, that is not a mistake, but an opportunity to start adjusting. It is never too late for you to create a new kind of weekend, one where joy and health coexist. I have a small invitation for you. This weekend, try changing just one habit. Eat less salt, sleep on time, or gently decline that offer for a toast. You will find that this mindfulness does not take away the fun, but actually makes it more sustainable. Thank you for watching all the way through. If you found this helpful, please leave a comment sharing what you learned today and how you will apply it this coming weekend. Your sharing could be the bridge that helps someone else protect their own heart. And if you want to keep receiving sincere messages like this, do not forget to subscribe. See you in the next video.